Welcome back to another episode here of the CoAngler Chronicles podcast. I am your host, Ty, and I definitely want to thank you for tuning in to another episode. Thank you for everyone who's been watching the episodes thus far. They are available on Amazon, Spotify, and for those of you tuning in on YouTube to watch it live, thank you for that. I certainly appreciate it, and I appreciate you all that have subscribed to the channel. If you do happen to hear that sound in the background, that is my son. He does, every time the camera comes on, he does like to join in and comment. So certainly appreciate you guys, and looking forward to bringing you today's episode with maybe a little bit in the background there. So today's episode, I'll go ahead and dive right in. I actually won't mention anything in the beginning of this episode because it's literally what the episode is about. So we'll kind of just get right into it. So as the title on this one says, does winning a tournament mean you will get sponsored? Or, does winning a tournament mean you will get some additional attention? But particular in this one, I want to focus on, are you going to get sponsored by winning a tournament? Now, I think it's important to define that we are referring to bass fishing, right? Tournament bass fishing. So for those of you tuning in, we're referring to tournament bass fishing. And when it comes to tournament bass fishing, it definitely rises and falls based on your success. And what I mean by that is, if you are winning, yes, there's some attention coming your way. If you're not winning, there's not that same type of attention coming your way, but there's still maybe some attention coming your way depending on how you did or how you approach it. So that's kind of really what I want to focus in on this particular episode is that. So to answer the question, does winning a tournament mean that you will get sponsored? The 100% correct answer is no. Okay. Why do I say that? Okay. So no, it does not mean you'll get sponsored. Does not mean companies are going to be lining up to call you. Doesn't mean that you're going to go check your inbox and you're going to have 37 emails saying, hey, we want to work with you. It does not mean that in any way, shape, or form. Now, when I say tournament, I have to be specific. So if you win your Wednesday night derby, I don't think you're expecting to get sponsored. But who knows? Everybody's expectations are different. If you win a club level tournament, I don't know if you're expecting to get sponsored. But again, everybody's different. If you win AOI in your club, does that mean you're going to get sponsored? No, it does not, okay? If you win a BFL, does that mean you're going to get sponsored? No, it does not. If you win a Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit tournament, does that mean you're going to get sponsored? No, it does not. If you win the Bassmasters Classic, does that mean you're going to get sponsored? No, it does not, okay? So I kind of hit every division there. Doesn't mean you're going to get sponsored. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean you're going to get sponsored because you win. Now, I think what you guys need to, what I'm trying to portray here is that one doesn't necessarily equate to the other. If that makes sense, it doesn't equate to the other. Might you get sponsored for your Wednesday night tournament? Probably not. Club level? Probably not. BFL? Probably not. Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit? Probably, but probably not. BPT event, probably, but who knows? Bassmasters Classic, it's pretty likely that you will, but it's not a guarantee. Okay, so, and you say, come on, Ty, are you serious right now? The Bassmasters Classic? I'm telling you guys, there's been guys that have been Bassmaster Elite Series pros who've won AOI and have lost their title sponsors. Don't get this in your head that says, oh, because I had a comment in one of my streams the other day, and I felt it when it was said. But it was like, the gentleman was saying that, if I win, then I'm going to, whatever the case may be. And in my head, I'm like, no. I'm telling you guys, when I won the BFL, no one cared other than my friends and the people of that tournament and the people that need to write the checks. No one cared that particular day. It did not matter. I won the tournament. Yay, good job. Way to go for you. But it did not matter in the scope of, do I need to open up my checkbook to this guy because he won a tournament? Now, it's different as a co-angler versus a boater. Obviously, those things are different. But when I said Bassmasters Classic, we all know there's no co-anglers in the Bassmasters Classic. You're only boaters. And I still said there's not a guarantee that you will. More than likely, you will. You'll get a phone call. You'll get several phone calls. So what I'm trying to get at for this particular deal is that, like I said, when I won my tournament, no one called me. Other than my buddies to tell me, great job. No one called me. I didn't get a single sponsor call from winning that tournament. Not a single ring, not a phone call, not a, hey, we see what you're doing. Hey, none of those, guys. I didn't get any of those phone calls. Not one. I know guys that are boaters who've won BFLs and they don't have a rod and reel company that they work with. They have every single rod known to man. I think I've said that in one of my deals before. Every rod on the deck known to man. Or they've maybe been in touch with a rod company, but they ain't got nothing going on with their rods and reels. Won tournaments and don't have rods and reels. How do you not have the one tool? You don't have a sponsor for the tool. You don't have anyone that's helping you with the cost of the main tool that you need to get in there and catch the fish. They might have a line sponsor, but they don't have a rod and reel company. And then I've met ones that have a line sponsor, rod and reel company. Their shoelaces are sponsored. Like, they're sponsored by toilet wipes. Like, these dudes are sponsored by everything, right? Everything's a sponsor. But then there's other dudes that's not the case. There's guys that you see riding around that have a logo on the side of that boat, and all they're getting is a discount code. It's out there. So I said all that to say, the biggest thing, and this is my biggest thing to you guys when I'm talking about this, especially I'm trying to help you co-anglers, I'm trying to help you boaters, I'm trying to help everybody in this particular deal. One of the biggest things is winning the tournament, step one. How you market it once you win the tournament, that's important. It's up to you, because you'll have a limited amount of spotlight. You'll have some eyeballs on you, especially if you win the Bassmaster Classic. There's presses, there's podcasts, there's interview after interview after interview. There's seminar, come do this, come do this. We want to see the trophy, we want to see the trophy. All the sponsors that help get you there, right? They're re-upping the contract. They're sending out those documents by email. They're keeping that going. But as far as some new people coming, if I'm a new sponsor and you just won the Bassmaster Classic with what you have, what makes me think you're going to want to rock with me? I'm a boat company. You just won with a boat company. Why would I reach out to you to sponsor you when you already have a boat company that you just won? My brain's thinking you're just going to pick up with the next guy. Now, obviously, I say to everyone that's out there, shoot your shot. You never know. Who? Take a look at some of your big name guys just this year. Literally just won the biggest tournaments you possibly could win and changed boat companies. Okay, so it's available. It's out there, and it can be done. So don't sell yourself short. Have the conversations and see what you need to do. But when you have that press, when you have those eyeballs on you, one of the most important things that can help determine whether you're going to get a sponsor or not is how you market yourself. What are you? Most of these companies nowadays want to know, what can you do for them? I know you won the Bassmaster Classic, but that was the pinnacle. What can you do for me now? Why would I give you $30,000? Why would I give you $10,000? Why would I give you $5,000? What can you do for me now? And there's already people giving you 30, 50, 20, 10,000. So what's my 10,000 going to do? And then what am I getting for my money? So the big thing you guys will hear in the fishing industry is return on investment. If you give Angler X $500, what is Angler X going to do for you? If you get Angler Y, who's just happy with 20% off, and he's sharing your content every day, then you would just stick with the 20% off. That's just a smart business decision. If I give you 20% off and you're going to post every day about my products because you just love my products, or this guy who thinks he's all this and that, and he wants $9,000, but he's only going to share a post once every quarter. And notice how I keep saying post. A lot of people, they think that they can just rep the company in the street to their friends and buddies, but a lot of these companies now want to be able to measure what it is they're doing. So it's not a matter of just return on investment. It's how can I measure that return on investment? So they give out these discount codes. They give out these things where they can track how many people come to you. They give you a separate portal with a separate link where you can use that link and they can see how many visitors you're bringing to the site. Angler A is bringing to the site versus Angler B. These are all things companies are doing now to be able to measure what it is that you're doing. They're looking for you to bring certain things to the table. You're going to give 3 posts a month about this product. You're going to post when they have product launches. You're going to reply to customers' comments. You're going to leave reviews on the products across different sites. There's all these different expectations of companies when they decide to open up their their wallets, their bank accounts, their Zelle, their Cash App, their Venmos. When they decide to open these things up and send some money to you, they want to know that the money's going somewhere and they're going to get something back for it. The days of just being like, oh, I won a tournament. I won 3 tournaments last year. How much money are you going to give me? Those days are over. It's there. You won 3 last year. What are you doing this year? What schedule are you fishing? What tournaments are you fishing? Now, I will say that, guys, I've had, and the reason why I'm bringing up this video is I've had these discussions. I've had these meetings. I've been in these meetings. I've talked to these people. The people I'm telling you about, I've talked to these people. I've heard these conversations. I've been a part of these conversations. So I'm not telling you something that I haven't actually done myself. I've had the conversations with sponsors, with partners, with potential sponsors, potential partners, people that just want to network. Some people just want you to take pictures, send them the pictures, and they'll send you some free stuff. That technically counts there. That would fall under the realm of a sponsor. They're giving you some stuff. You're doing some stuff. But it doesn't actually, in my opinion, that doesn't fall in the realm of a sponsor. That falls under the realm of a partner, in my opinion. You give me some stuff, like we working together, versus you just giving me some money and you may not get none of that money back, but you're going to get me back and I'm going to give you everything I got back. That's the kind of thing. Like LeBron James will be sponsored by Nike, but Nike's giving him a paycheck, right? And then his job is to promote Nike whenever he gets a chance. Wear the shoes, share some posts out, talk about Nike at this meeting, show up at this meeting, show up at that. That's part of the responsibility that he has. But I'm saying all that really to try to get out here to you guys that it's not, wins don't equal sponsors. Wins don't equal phone ringing. Wins don't equal bank account overflow. Other than the win money, they don't equal that. How many guys win these TTB tournaments? These dudes are winning 40, 50 grand, and I don't know nothing about them. They might be sponsored. I'm not sure if they're sponsored. Companies pay a lot of difference to trails. They pay a big attention to how many boats are in the trail, basically how many people are going to get in there. And then a lot of companies now are just choosing to sponsor the actual trail itself. Why would I sponsor 3 separate anglers at $5,000 a pop when I can just give the whole trail $15,000 and I'll be a sponsor and they'll mention me every TV show versus having to rely on some guy to maybe share a couple of posts a month. I just assume be part of the big organization. So I'm telling you guys this because I want you guys to be mindful of this. There's a lot of companies out there, and I hate to say it because I know a guy made a video about it not too long ago, but I hate to say it. There's a lot of companies out there that will manipulate and they will use individuals to get what they want. And it's not uncommon. It's a very common business practice where they will use and manipulate individuals to get the most out of that person. And then when that person decides to flip the script and say, I've had enough, they decide to move on to another person. So I'll give you an example because I'm talking about it, right? I'll give you an example. So they give a guy 10%. They call them an ambassador staff. Basically, that means you just talk about the product wherever you go, share a couple posts, right? You get 10% off, which basically saves you like the shipping. So you get 10% off. And this guy talks about products and talks about products. They get him on the staff for that. He's sharing 4 or 5 posts a week about their product. He's talking about the product. He's getting them in touch with dealers, distributors, and making all this stuff happen. And he's getting a 10% discount off and maybe a hat. The hat's a maybe. That's a huge maybe because most people don't even want to give up hats. Now they have Angler Y who posts once a month, higher level angler, but posts once a month with a little picture that he took off putting the baits on the back of his car. Takes a picture. I use these. And that guy's getting a check for $5,000 or $10,000 or $750. He's getting a check. He shared one post. He fishes at a higher level, so there's more exposure, so we understand that. But he shared one post. He doesn't come to no seminars. Maybe he will if you ask him nicely, but seminars typically cost more. So he shares one post, seminars, and he's getting a $5,000 check. And there's a guy out here who absolutely loves the products, shares them everywhere, gets distributors to him the whole nine, and this dude's getting 10% off. Now you tell me, is that not one of the highest forms of just straight using somebody? You see what I'm saying? Like, and then the little guy who's getting the 10% off, he asks a question. He says, hey, I'm getting 10% off. I appreciate it, but I was wondering if maybe I can move it up to 20% off or maybe get a couple items, for free or whatever the case may be. And then they say, no, we appreciate it, but we're closed. We're not accepting any higher positions at this time. Sorry, guys, that's my kid. He's over here, obviously felt now was a perfect time to dump out all his blocks. So they say, no, sorry, we're not accepting any of that now, but we certainly appreciate you. So now this guy who shared out, pretty much congested his entire feed to promote something that he loves, is now being told there's no more room at the end. But guess what? The other guy, for $1,000, his check's already cleared. And he used it to buy himself a Traeger. Okay, I'm just keeping it 100, guys. I said I was going to do that on this podcast. I started off kind of mild. I came in a little bit stronger, and now I'm just going. We're at the last few episodes. We're just going. We're going for it. Okay. So guys, I said it and I meant it. Like I'm baby stepping my way up this thing because I want to be. I want to try to do it the right way. But I'm telling you guys, there's the form of what's happening to some of these people out here that it's not right. And a guy explained it. Basically, if you have a pro staff or an ambassador staff or field staff or whatever the case may be, you basically start. So I'll give you the business model of how you start a business now in the fishing industry. You design products, you get them set up, you invest your money to get the stuff set up, you immediately offer pro staff, ambassador staff, field staff, take picture staff, whatever you want to call these guys. You get the product to them, whether you charge them for it or whether you give them a discount for it. You have them get your product, they buy it, you get all the pictures that they take, you require that they take pictures, require that they send stuff to a special Dropbox. You do all that, and basically if you can get like 500 of them and everybody spends $100, you've already made $5,000. And let's say your initial investment was $5,000. You get 500 pro staff, they all buy $100 minimum, you got all your money back. Now you're cooking with gas, right? So now you keep it going. Hopefully they buy more. Hopefully you can use their pictures to update your website stuff. You do all that kind of stuff. And then you just start to see numbers come in. And now after a year goes by, you give everybody a year contract. After the year goes by, you evaluate the year. You drop probably 300 people because they shared 7 pictures all year. You drop those. You keep the 200 that actually are posting, sharing, buying stuff. You keep a couple of the guys out of that 300 that bought a bunch of stuff. You hold on to them because you know they're big spenders. They're coming with money. So you have like 211 on your pro staff. You keep the 211. You hope they continue with you. You give them 10%. You say, hey guys, we appreciate you. We'll bump you up to 15%. Thanks for your hard work. Appreciate y'all. They push it. You keep pushing it. You hope the efforts combine. You do some SEO, some marketing. You get all that going. Second year, you're rolling. Now that's assuming you get people to buy stuff, assuming you can get people to do the pro staff, the whole 9. If you can't get customers, then you close up. We never hear about you again. That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate side effect of starting a business. And I encourage everyone who starts a business, understand your business may fail. So just get that in your head right now and then do what you need to do to make sure you don't fail. But so now we're on year 2. We got 211 people, our big spenders and our heavy posters. We keep them. They keep posting, other ones keep spending, we keep sharing, we create a couple of new ideas, kick those out there, get everybody to mass push out the stuff. Second year, bam, now we're making more money. We're doing pretty good. By the time we get to the third year, we dwindle it down to about 100, plus our big spenders, so maybe 114. They keep spending, we keep sharing, create a couple new ideas. Bam, we're in year 4. Now we're in year 4. We're a legit company, probably year 4 or 5. We're in a legit company. Everybody respects us. We've got some clout. We've got some juice. We've done Bassmaster Classic expos. We've done local expos. We've traveled a little bit. We put in our time. We paid our dues. We're in year 5. We limit our pro staff now down to about 50, and all 50 of them are hammers. And then we got like 10 big spenders that we're saying, hey, we'll keep y'all in here because we appreciate y'all. Now you got a legit company. You're in the fishing industry. You're respected. You got some juice. You got ICAST, you're showing up with some new products, some new ideas, your apparel's kicking off, you're rolling out rods and reels, you're having this meeting, you got a bait company. I mean, you bought another smaller company who was making baits to add the bait line up to your thing, kept a couple of their people on staff, let a few go, and now you're rolling. Did that not make sense, guys? Did I not just break it all the way down? That's legit how these companies are doing it. And it's not rocket science, it's pretty straightforward. The ones that hit it are the ones that we see cooking. The ones that don't, I've seen so many businesses start up and end up selling to another person that buys it. They get out from under it, and then they see what that person's going to do. And then that person either takes it and runs with it, or they end up selling it. Then someone else takes over and run it. There's been multiple ways this thing has been handled. All of them pretty spot on strategies, right? I'm not knocking in the strategies. But what I'm saying is, when you win, you could get a call from a 5-year established company, a 50-year established company, or you could get a call from a startup. At the point, because kind of going to the second part of this, is what determines whether or not you get the phone calls is how you market yourself. What do you do? What can you do for the companies? How can you help the companies grow? So if you market yourself as a tournament winning angler, family man, proud to be here, excited about the baits, the company, you present yourself well, you speak well in the meetings, you can get this thing going, you can turn a role that's here into something that's like this, because a company wants to get behind you. They see that you're about something, you're doing something, you're going places, you got ideas, you got goals, you got ambition. You can turn that into, but that's about how you market yourself. Do you market yourself as available, as interested? Do you market yourself as I'm way too good for any of y'all? Do you market yourself as I want to be FL, now all y'all should bow at my feet type of situation? Like, some companies, they want to work with certain people because they like what the certain person brings to the table. Now, like I said, for me personally, to kind of reflect on it, and I've tried to handle myself as cordial as humanly possible, but sometimes you just got to handle business. But I've been one of the people, I'm in a position now to where I don't even respond to some of these offers I get now. I market myself, I put myself out there as a certain way. I'm this type of angler, I like to do this, these are my products I like, but I don't even respond to some of the things I get now, guys, because some of it just doesn't make sense. When you hit a certain level, you're not really looking to deal in, I hate to say it, but mediocrity. You're not really looking to deal with somebody that's trying to figure it out when you've gone and done certain things. It'd be different if you didn't. It's like you determine your worth. It kind of builds on last week's episode when I was talking about the guy in the $2,000 guide trips. You determine your worth. You determine what you're willing to accept. For me as a musician, I know that if somebody calls me for a gig, that this person has a history of lowballing musicians, I'm not answering the phone. I know what I'm worth. I know what you're getting. I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm going to learn the music. I know I'm going to be on time, and I know I have my own equipment. You're getting that. If you want somebody who doesn't know the song, somebody's going to wing it, somebody who needs you to bring everything to you, then you're going to get what you're going to get. That's not on me, but I know what it is I bring to the table. So I'm not in a position to sit here and pity-pat around, for lack of a better term. I'm not in a position to pity-pat around with different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in that position. I don't need to have little conversations talking about little things and not going places. I have ideas, I have things that I want to get out there. So I market myself as such, and I want to partner with people that have similar interests. I see what they're doing. I see they're trying to get somewhere. I see they have some goals, some ambition. I'm excited about it, and I'll work with them. Otherwise, I'm not answering, or I'll respond politely and decline, and that's the end of it. So did winning that tournament equate to me getting my phone ringing off the hook and there's people over here doing this? If I won it from the front of the boat, would have done the same thing? Also, it has to do with the market that you're in. Some markets are geared towards pushing anglers. Some markets, anglers aren't really that big a deal where they're at. So there's not a lot of companies that they can even promote. Like where I live, there's like 2 big companies within maybe 100 miles. Maybe 3 big companies within 100 miles. But there's not like an abundance of tackle shops or tackle makers or bait makers or all that. That's not right around in my area. So there's not really a lot of network I can do here to a certain extent. I've done what I can, and I plan to do more, but that's not really the deal here. You pretty much got to search elsewhere if you want to. Then that comes down to, like I said, how you present yourself. What can you do? What can you do for someone? So my advice to you guys after saying all that is to focus on yourself, the tournament aspect of it, okay? Getting into the tournaments, moving up to higher levels, making sure your equipment runs well, making sure your techniques are down when it comes to skipping, pitching, flipping, things like that. Make sure all that stuff is in order. Make sure you can talk. Make sure you can have a conversation. Make sure you're just yourself, because when you meet with these people, you want to be yourself. You want to let them know that you're you. But if you do happen to get some success when it comes to fishing, you win a BFL, you win a Toyota Series, you win a Bassmaster Open, you top 5. Think about it, guys. You can top 20 these tournaments, and you can market yourself almost just as good as a guy who won. You can say you top 20 in the Bassmaster Open out of 247 boats. Guys, that's a heck of an accomplishment. So that's what I'm saying. Don't sell yourself short as an angler. Don't sell yourself short. If your skill is good, you know how to present yourself, you have a social media following, you can do something for a company, you believe in the company's product, then you might want to push your way on out there to get that company to connect with you, right? Like you've got to market yourself. So you win, and you may have to reach out to these companies. But when you reach out, what is it that you're saying? My name is so-and-so. Do you have a fishing resume? Do you have a list of your accomplishments? Can they see what you've done? Have you competed within the last year? Do you use their products? These are questions that you guys will hear from these people when it comes to having these interviews and talking. Do you use my products? Are you familiar with my products? What is it that you typically get when you have these conversations? And if you're new to it, you have no idea. So like I said, you probably take whatever it is going to be and Sometimes you just have to do what you do to get to where you want, right? That's an old saying, but that's something you got to do what you got to do to get to where you want. So if you're okay with taking a 10%, demonstrating your worth, and then having a conversation at year's end about moving up, then do that. If that's the phone call you got, if that's the Instagram message that you got, if that's the Twitter, TikTok message you got, then if that's what you're okay with doing, then I suggest you to do that. If you feel like that's not going to cut it, you need money, you have bills, you have a family, you have things you want to pay for, then don't do that. Keep grinding, keep working, keep networking, keep marketing yourself. And by market yourself, I mean reaching out to these companies, tagging these companies in your photos, sending these companies emails, letting them know that you're interested. Like, think about it. Like, if you're a guy and you're trying to date a girl or whatever the case may be, you can smile and wink, right? Give her the smile and the wink. She may think there's something in your eye. Okay? You don't know. Sometimes you gotta have a conversation. You gotta be like, hey, excuse me, my name is Ty. It's nice to meet you. I was wondering if maybe I could take you out sometime. So that's basically what you're doing with these companies. My name is Ty. I'm a tournament bass fishing angler. I got a top 5 out on Smith Mountain Lake. I got a top 5 on Kerr Lake. I got a top 5 on the Potomac. I'm a well-rounded angler. I'm really good at promoting and talking to people about products that I believe in. I believe in your product. So, I'm giving you guys like this exact thing. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll give you guys a conversation. And you guys can, of course, add and take away based on as you see fit. But you have to be true to yourself when you do this, because you got to present it. Gerald Swindle said it best. You got to present yourself as yourself. He said he went looking for a suit jacket. He ain't had no suit jackets. He came the way he comes. He came that way. You like that way or you don't. But to try to fit yourself in someone else's box is going to be very, very difficult. So if you want to do, I'll give you the example. So when I meet with someone, I'm talking to them. It's depends on the meeting. Most stuff can be done by text and email, to be honest with you. But if you got to go in person, hello, my name is Tyrone. I'm a tournament bass angler. I've been fishing for about 6 years now. I do have a win at the BFL division. I have a top 5 in the BFL division, also a top 10 in the BFL division. I'm very competitive. I fish Bassmaster Opens. I fish Toyota Series. I do fish BFLs. Sometimes I fish multiple divisions. I have qualified for 3 regional tournaments in a row, hoping to make that 4 this year. I do have my own tackle, my own rods and reels. I bring my own equipment. I have a boat. Well, at least I can't say that part anymore, but I have a boat, so I'm constantly out on the water. I have some high-quality camera equipment. I can definitely get good quality photos of your product. I'm well connected in my local town with different bait shops, retailers, things like that. I can definitely do my part to try to get you in these shops, to get your brand out there, promote your brand, different type of things like that. There's ways you can present it, and then you need to have your fishing resume with your accomplishments, and the people need to be aware of that. Now, I gave you my top 3. Pretty much anything past that, I really don't think people need to know. And if they do, in my opinion, they're digging too deep. Because if these 3 don't get it done, then ain't really much else I can tell you that's going to help improve my stats, right? Like, that's my best. That's the best. I literally put my best foot forward. Research the companies that you want to connect with. Find out what they're about. Do they like this? Do they have this? Are they familiar with this? Be familiar with the products if you can. If you're reaching out to random people, that's going to be weird. That's going to be tough, uphill battle. But reach out to people whose products you believe. They've seen you tag and they know what's going on. They're familiar. Their social media team is definitely familiar with certain people. And more than likely, these companies kick around the names. Hey, have you heard of this guy? Even, guys, I watched a Yamamoto stream live. And they said, literally, they were mentioning people's name. Like, do you know this guy? You heard of this guy? Seen this guy? And then when they get the feedback, I know that guy. Oh, that guy's a stick. Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that guy. Oh, man, that guy can catch him. That guy on Toledo Bend, oh, my goodness, he's that guy. So they get the information. They kind of do the research, get the background. And then it's up to you to just show up and be, remotely resemblance of that guy that they've heard so much about, or that they're at least now familiar with. So I hope this information helps you guys. I'm trying to keep these, like I said, shorter or sweet when it's just me. Somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes is what I'm trying to do at most, because I want you guys to be able to watch and tune in and then tune out and then go, not tune me out, but I mean just saying tune in and then get to something else, or put me on small player and just let it play while you walk around. Trying not to get too crazy, but definitely want to go in on some of this stuff, because like I said, some of it's just important, man. Some of it's important, some of it we need to know. First and foremost, just continue to work on yourself as an angler. Always be working on yourself as an angler. The other things, I don't want to say will take care of themselves. You will help them take care of themselves, but you want to focus on being a good angler, being the best angler you can be, putting yourself in front of enough eyeballs, letting people see what it is that you do, promoting yourself properly, That's you taking care of it. And then, yes, you may get the phone calls. You may get the ring. Hello. Yeah, I'm the one looking for. Or you may get that email or text message or Instagram message or whatever the case may be that says, hey, we were thinking about, have a conversation, see if you think it's going to work, and then kind of go from there. And most importantly, too, remember that every deal is not a good deal. Okay? Just because you're excited to get in the fishing industry, just because you're glad somebody reached out to you, please do your homework on some of these companies. Because next thing you know, you'll be posting pictures twice a day, and your kids will be wearing the company's apparel mandatory to school. Like, make sure you're reading these contracts to understand what it is that you're getting yourself into. We need 37 posts weekly. Each post must tag this, and this. We need you to contact at least 13 stores every week to see if we can get in the stores. If they don't answer this week, contact them again next week. Make sure you guys are reading the contracts to make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Because like I said, every deal is not a good deal. Some deals are bad, and they will be bad for you. They will leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you will no longer want to participate in the fishing industry at all. You will switch careers, and you will go a whole nother route because of what bad deal you got into. So make sure you're reading it. Ask them to send you a contract. Ask them to send you the details in writing of what they're looking for. That way, when the year comes up, you can say, I've done this, and this as asked. I've gone above and beyond. Now can we have a different conversation about what's the next steps? And if they're not willing to work with you after you've done everything they asked, think about it. If it's a regular job, if you've done everything they asked and the end of the year comes around and you're looking for a merit raise and you've done everything, you've exceeded everything, and they're not willing to even talk to you about possibly putting some more in your pocket, you need to make that tough decision and do what you need to do, right, to be successful. Don't ever forget why it is that you're doing this. Like, you, at the end of the day, either you enjoy just having fun, then you probably ain't looking for sponsors. But if you're trying to move up and get this thing going, you're going to need people that want to rock with you and that believe in you and that are willing to take a chance on you and want to see you succeed, right? They're not taking a chance on you just sitting back like, oh, he didn't do. No, they're rocking with you. They want to see you succeed, and they want to do everything they can to be successful. So they provide resources, things you can talk to. They give gas money to go to places. They may not pay your entry fee, but if they give you gas money, hey, you at least understood that it takes work to do what it is that I do, and you're offering what you can. That type of thing, you got to be thankful for that, and then, like I said, do the best that you can. But that's all I had on this one, guys. As you can tell, I'm a little tired. Oh, sorry, guys. I am going live a lot on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going live quite a bit. So if you haven't tuned into one of my live streams, you definitely need to do that. We're on there. We're talking about a lot of things. My TikTok is @BassandFurious. My Instagram is @BassandFurious. Everything's there. I'm live. I'm talking all kinds of topics. We're having fun. We're enjoying ourselves in the evening time. May start doing some mornings as well on the TikTok. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. I thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. It's amazing. I certainly appreciate and welcome and thank you for the warm welcome that I've received into this deal. And if you don't mind, do me a favor and leave me a positive review on one of these things if you enjoyed it. Leave a review on it. If you enjoyed it, great. If you didn't, I mean, it is what it is. But leave me a review. I would really appreciate a positive review if you're enjoying it. And then I would also appreciate if you guys take a look, if you're on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or PodSurf, take a look at the links I share. I do share out links of companies. Obviously, they do help me if you do go through my link to get some of this stuff. But the products and things I'm recommending are phenomenal, and they can definitely help you either on the water, off the water, or help you achieve one of the goals that you have set forth for yourself. So consider doing that if you don't mind. I certainly appreciate each and every one of you. I will catch you on the next episode. As always, guys, thank you for tuning into the CoAngler Chronicles CoAngler Chronicles podcast. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you all. Peace, peace.